This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so Quani Cash went on Big Facts, what was it, a month ago? And, you know, he's an artist from Atlanta, and basically he went to, did he go to jail for a few years? I can't remember, but he was accused of, like, supposedly snitching, right? So he brought his paperwork up to Big Facts now because ever since Rollo went up there and Big Jade called out Rollo on page 8, right? She said, "Where's page? What about page 8?" This has been a place to go with your paperwork, right? So Quani Cash went up there with his paperwork. He says nothing is unsealed, nothing's unsealed, blah 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 blah. Well, the guy, I'm assuming this guy was part of the case. I watched half of this. I think I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I watched about half of it. I'm gonna watch the other half in a minute. He puts up proof that Quani Cash supposedly cooperated, and that some of his files are sealed, which would go against what Quani Cash said. So what also I looked at that was a little interesting was that this is part of Rollo's page. It says Rollo Famgoon. It was posted on Rollo's page, right? Rollo Famgoon. So this guy's name's YMM, I guess. Go check it out if you want to check it out. He does put up proof of certain things, but I don't know when this isn't like the big Meech case where everybody knows everything and everything's accessible. And you see more than just 50 Cent accusing somebody of something. You hear, you know, Blue Da Vinci's accounting. You see drivers, everything. You see stuff with Terry, and you can kind of put all the pieces together your own way, right? This is different here. This is like, you know, you can just make your own assumption for what it is. Anyways, we'll see. Wendy Williams fans plan to protest in the streets after revealed she's still being held in the same memory care facility under court-ordered guardianship, despite reports saying she was removed. April 1st, 2025. Hopefully this is not April Fool's, because tomorrow is April Fool's. This is supposed to happen tomorrow. I'm all for Wendy getting free and having access to her funds again. This is one of the reasons Kanye West left America so fast, is because people were starting to rumblings of maybe doing a conservatorship against him because they think he's going crazy. And they start to seize your funds and take the actions to say you're crazy, you're not in the right mind to manage your own life. And that's why he went to Japan. I think that was a smart move. Even though I don't agree with anything Kanye's really saying. I mean, some of the stuff is true that he says when it's regarding, like, you know, business type stuff, but then he goes off on like tangents about like people's religions and this and that, and it's like, okay, now we're getting kind of wild here, bro. Like, we listen to Kanye for entertainment purposes. So if he's talking about record contracts and, you know, Drake, Kendrick, and this and that, I'll listen, okay? But when you start talking about, you know, stuff that's not related to entertainment anymore, I'm tuned out, bro. Okay, Young Scooter. Cameron sheds a tear because I guess they were close. I had no idea that he was close with Young Scooter like that. Young Scooter obviously died of a 1 in 10 chance, bro. When you break your leg, he must have shattered his leg, bro, and it went into an artery. And, you know, a lot of people won't want to believe that, but, like, freak accidents happen. Freak accidents happen, man. Value your life. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying, man, life is precious, man. So just look at it like that. Like, I don't expect any of us to be jumping over fences to run from cops, but you could simply just be doing something dumb, right? That we all do sometimes in the heat of the moment. You know, we do something crazy, meaning like maybe we jump off a rock in the woods. I'm just saying something stupid, right? When you really should have just walked around, you know, but you take the quick way down and you end up breaking your foot because you twisted on a hole, you know. Just take a slow thing in life. Take life slow because you only get one of these. And who knows what's after this, I believe there is an afterlife of some sort, but treasure where you're at now, because sometimes you just got to take things slow. Now, WACK100 is being grilled by Adam22 on the show because he's saying, many are saying that, Wack, hey, are you next to be indicted? Because you did a lot. You've been accused of doing a lot of things that Big U was doing. You were some forms of extortion. This is true. WACK100 has warned Oscar De La Hoya about some tapes he has of him dressing in women's clothes and doing lewd acts. He has alluded to the fact that there were more tapes of Kim Kardashian and that, something was going on there. And then Kanye and him worked something out with these extra tapes from the Ray J, because he does represent Ray J, from the Ray J and Kim Kardashian scandal. He said they had tapes on Nipsey doing lewd acts with his wife and another man, right? There was some type of tape, and he was like telling the family, say he was negotiating with the family about this and that. He does this a lot, and that could be a form of extortion. I mean, if you really look at it, WACK100 has changed his tune on a dime. 360 here. Big U's all of a sudden a great person. Big U, Loose Cannon was lying. You guys fell for that. I was just trying to get back at Big U because he was talking about me, but you started talking about Big U first. Everything's just a big because now Big U's locked up, and a lot of people. WACK100 was the loudest person to get Big U locked up, and he's a gang member that lives by morals and codes of the street. Me and you don't, right? Unless you're a gang member and you're listening to me, but which is fine. But it's just like there's different codes for me and for a gang member. You live by different morals and principles, okay? And he's not living by those, but it is what it is. Charlamagne, he is disgusted with Akademiks do interview with Kanye. He says, I'm sick of the little scams and everything he does and the little tricks. Charlamagne's probably just angry he's not part of this. I'm going to be honest with you. Charlamagne likes the attention. Charlamagne's whole thing with taking advantage, I wouldn't say take advantage. He's milking mental health to make money off of it. Books, class, he's doing everything he can, right? Charlamagne's got his own stuff. I'm not saying he's like evil or anything, but some stuff is questionable. Listen, Akademiks is doing his interviews just like you did interviews with Kanye when he was going a little wild back in 2017. Akademiks is just doing, he let him talk, and that was that. It's not like Akademiks was like, yo, I agree. Nobody's saying they agree with what Kanye says, but he is allowed to speak his mind. And if we believe he's crazy, he's crazy. I think he's wild. I think he's nuts. But the part of this country is, I'd rather him speak his mind and say what he feels than bottle up and you don't know what someone feels about something, because then you know if you don't want to mess with that or not. I like Kanye's music, but would I ever want to do business? Well, would I have the opportunity? But say you're in the position, it puts you in a position where you're like, maybe I'll stay away from this guy. It's kind of radioactive. Big Boy's getting back in studio with Killer Mike to release a solo album. That's what's up. Joe Tacopina keeps really pushing this whole thing where Rocky and Rihanna are going to name their next baby after him. That's a real talking point for him on every interview I've seen with him. He did it with Vlad. I was like, geez, you're a good lawyer, but bro, you're acting like you're like, if you live with these people, you don't. It's like, I guess being attached with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky really did boost business, though. It is what it is. That's about it. That's everything that's going on. I appreciate you all. I'll check you guys in the next one. Smash that like button for me. Peace.